using that power to harm others. It accounts for 10.7% of Vietnam's GDP, suffered dramatically. Shell and ghost corporations. Over 2,400 people were implicated in this trial. 200 attorneys, and I hold quite a bit of information facing the death penalty. The real victim, what happened that will lead us to this video today. Lost everything? My opinion, it can only be described as the largest scandal in Vietnam's 21st century and possibly in Vietnam's modern history. Imagine 6 tons of documents and 85 co-conspirators along with Miss Truong My Lan in what we call the Bernie Madoff scandal of Vietnam. This accounts for $12.39 billion with a B of embezzlement from the Saigon Commercial Bank, or SCB. So mark your calendars because the biggest trial in Vietnam's history is about to begin on March 5th. So this trial is expected to be a legal marathon with 2 months of trial period. Some are facing life imprisonment while others are also having the death penalty. So what is going to be the verdict? That is the question that hangs in the air. We don't know, but today we will delve into the details of this trial and what will happen and keeping you updated. So let's get started. Happy New Year in 2024. For those of you who are new to this channel, my name is Ken Duong, international business immigration attorney with over 15 years of experience helping companies and individuals to invest, retire, open up factories, and do a lot of business here in Vietnam. And I've been here about 10 years now, and I hold quite a bit of information and a good grasp on the market, and that's what we're going to talk about today, something very specific to Vietnam. Jumping into 2024, as you know, 70% of our viewers, which is you, are not subscribed to our channel. But this year, we want to make sure that we're going to hit the 50,000 subscriber mark. We're at 38,000 so far, and that we're going to need you to subscribe. So when you don't subscribe to our channel, it means that you watch the video, but you're not interested in the content. But I know you always come back and watch it, so please help us get to 50,000 for 2024 by clicking the subscribe button. It takes 1 second and it's free. So thank you very much for your viewership. Just click on subscribe. Now, back to the topic that is gripping Vietnam. So, I will give you a brief summary of the Vietnam's Bernie Madoff story. But if you want the full details in our first video, then click on your right-hand corner for that video that details the entire history of what happened that will lead us to this video today. To summarize the situation, and at the center of it all is Chairwoman Miss Truong My Lan of Phat Group or Corporation. Through siphoning, also using thousands of shell and ghost corporations, she was able to control a 91.5% stake in SCB, which allowed her to actually siphon and lend out money to many of her biggest projects in Ho Chi Minh City and also the rest of Vietnam. Notably, the investments into Nguyễn Huệ and Đồng Khởi Street, especially with Vincom A building, and also the purchase of the Reverie Saigon Hotel for $470 million. So to say the least, she owns hundreds, if not thousands, of properties all over Vietnam. So let's talk about the trial itself and the historic nature of this particular trial. Starting on March 5th, the court and the attorneys will have to go through 6 tons of cases and documents that have been prepared, collected in this case. It's so enormous that the court had to put in place a fire and surveillance systems in order to control the documents and to prevent them from being taken away or destroyed in any particular manner. This is unprecedented in Vietnam's history to do so, but this case is so big it is necessary to take such measures. The economic impact of this particular trial is so profound that it accounts for 10.7% of Vietnam's GDP, which is roughly about $409 billion. The trial will show an extensive list of notable, famous and infamous individuals. Over 2,400 people were implicated in this trial. It will also showcase 200 attorneys representing all of them, especially 5 dedicated attorneys for Ms. Truong My Lan. In the lead up to the trial, many of the accused were transferred from Hanoi to a detention facility in Ho Chi Minh City's Củ Chi district. And the plot thickens with the summoning of Ms. Truong My Lan's husband, Mr. Chu Nap Ki Eric, a Hong Kong citizen, will be summoned to the trial as well. Ms. Truong My Lan, at 68 years old, being the chairwoman of Phat, is being charged for bribery, bank regulations violations, and embezzlement. Moreover, of the 85 co-accused in this case, they have charges similar akin to Mrs. Truong My Lan, including abuse of power and position in performing official duties and a lack of responsibility causing serious consequences. The co-accused include SCB leaders, officials from the State Bank of Vietnam, the Vietnam Inspectorate, and also the State Audit Office. The severity of the accusations is starkly highlighted by possible sentences of 14 individuals, including Ms. Lang and Ms. Đỗ Thị Nhàn, the former head of the Central Bank's Inspection and Supervision Department, possibly facing the death penalty for accepting significant bribes. In addition, some of the former SCB leaders who have fled the country because they're foreign nationals, such as the Chinese Sun Henry and the Canadian national Lam Lee George, both former directors of SCB, now evading or fleeing, so when they are caught, they will be tried in separate cases. The trial is expected to conclude on April 29th. And by then, it will show that SCB is the real victim in this situation because the monies were used illegally, embezzled, and for illegitimate purposes by Ms. Lang. So make sure that you follow this trial to see exactly what is happening, what will be the outcome, and what will the changes that are necessary to change the banking regulations, security regulations, and various different laws in Vietnam. My opinion as an international attorney and also going through the Bernie Madoff situation when I was living in the States, it is very, very similar. You have somebody that is in a position of power for an extended period of time. You're talking about 20, 30 years, and using that power, that knowledge in order to harm others. And in this case, just like the Bernie Madoff case, the people who were harmed the most are the individuals or the citizens of the US or Vietnam who had put money into SCB, who deposited money expecting to get a certain return on their savings and investment. But at the end of the day, they've lost everything. The recovery time is going to take maybe 10 years to recover. Thus, tons, thousands, or millions of individuals in Vietnam will suffer dramatically from the loss of their money and not having the government backup to secure their money. So a few things that I feel will impact in the future is the banking regulations. How do you protect people's money? How do you minimize bank fraud? And also having the security systems in place in order to have people invest, trust in the investment process, and then be able to move forward. So we will see what happens in the trial. I don't know what's going to happen in this trial. I'm not a Vietnam criminal law attorney, but having seen it before, I'm going to definitely keep you updated. Our team will read and research to keep you updated on the information. So that was part 2 of the biggest scandal in Vietnam as we begin the trial on March 5th. So as always, we want to make sure that we want to know what your thoughts are about the particular trial that's going on, what potential outcomes, and any comments that you have. But on behalf of Duong Global, welcome to 2024. My name is Ken Duong. Thank you so much for watching this video. But make sure that you like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and make sure that you click on the bell for notifications. So on behalf of Duong Global, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.